We start with some breaking news coming in. This is a major development in the Celina Jaitley's brother detention case. It's a big Republic impact. Sources have now told Republic that the Indian embassy and consulate are fully seized of the matter. Due to concerted efforts, the embassy consular officials have been able to obtain consular access to Major Vikrant 4 times. The last time being in September 2025, that is about 2 months ago. And the Consular has also said that they remain in touch with his family, especially his wife, in the matter, and the embassy continues to extend all possible assistance in the matter. That is the big breaking news that we are getting in at the moment. This is a day after actor Celina Jaitley spoke to Republic's editor-in-chief Arnab Goswami exclusively and highlighted the timeline of events before regarding first when she got in touch with her brother while he was in the UAE and how she lost all contact and how she made an appeal on Republic for government intervention, how she and her family have been fighting this fight to bring Major Vikrant back home from the UAE. And this development is coming a day after Republic exclusively broke this. We are now learning that the embassy consular have been able to get in touch with Major Vikrant at least 4 times, the last time being in September 2025, that is about 2 months ago. And that the consular is extending all possible assistance to the Jaitly family. Celina Jaitley, meanwhile, viewers, is fighting a legal battle for her brother, Major retired Vikrant Kumar Jaitly, who has been in detention in the UAE since 2024. In fact, Celina mentioned to our editor-in-chief that the last time she spoke to her brother was during Rakhi in 2024, which is more than 14 months ago. Missing for months, she has approached the Delhi High Court seeking necessary legal and medical assistance for her brother from Indian authorities. All right, let's go across to senior editor Shravan Sen joining me live from the newsroom. Shravan, give us more details.
Well, in fact, since 2024, remember, Major Vikrant Jaitly, who was in the UAE, was taken into the custody. The family members have made a direct allegation of abduction here, and they essentially maintain the fact that no further details were basically provided to them apart from a case number. So the current situation is this, that the family members of Major Vikrant Jaitly have absolutely no idea as to why he has been taken into custody. And that is the reason why for almost a year now, they have been doing the rounds of the courts. In fact, there is a sigh of relief now with the Delhi High Court essentially intervening in this entire matter, seeking the government's response on this entire issue. Sources have already indicated that the embassy in UAE is seized of the matter, which essentially means that a consular access has been provided to the embassy officials. But the family members, remember, still do not have much access to Major Vikrant Jaitly. So much so, when I spoke to the family members yesterday, I was given to understand that they still do not know whether at all Major Vikrant Jaitly is hale and hearty. That is something that the family members have absolutely no idea about. The second issue is the fact that why exactly has he been taken into custody? That is also not clear at this point in time. The difference being that if you really look at the legal system in the UAE, it is opaque in nature, which essentially means that apart from a case number, you absolutely have no idea as to what exactly is actually happening on the ground, leaving no room for the family members to know about his whereabouts, in which prison has he been kept. These are details that we still do not know. As far as Major Vikrant Jaitly is concerned, remember, he is a decorated soldier of the Indian Army, associated with the para-special forces, and after taking a retirement, he had started a business in UAE. That's all that we know. If you go by some of the information that is available in public domain with regards to his company, it's a business related to trading and a few other aspects, but beyond which there is not much that we still know about Major Vikrant Jaitly and why exactly has he been taken into custody. Is he all by himself, or are there other Indians? These are questions that still remain unanswered. It is for the Ministry of External Affairs perhaps to really step in. As of now, what we can confirm is that the Ministry of External Affairs, the embassy in the UAE, is seized of the matter. The consular access has been granted 4 times is what we are being told. But remember, there is also some time that has lapsed since the last consular access was granted.
Right. Shravan, one more question before I let you go. Essentially, with this development, if you can tell our viewers what sort of legal options are does the family have now, and what's next? What are the legal routes that Celina and her family can take to get access and get in touch with her brother?
In fact, what I picked up after a long conversation with the family members late last evening is the fact that they are essentially waiting for the matter to be heard in the month of December. In fact, I've been in touch with the family members over the last couple of months, where they've essentially indicated the following, that multiple attempts have essentially been made to find out the current status of Major Vikrant Jaitly. They say that they do not have direct access. In fact, the wife has been told by the embassy officials about the current situation. But remember, in terms of legal options for the family members, that's quite limited, particularly because this matter is in UAE. This would basically require further government intervention, and that's what I essentially picked up after meeting the family members yesterday. They are hoping that when the matter comes up for hearing in the month of December, when a status report would essentially be presented before the court, that's when they would have more clarity as to what is the case all about, and whether at all the UAE is essentially going to respond to certain questions that would be posed by the Indian government. Well, in fact, our legal editor, Rhythm Anand Bhardwaj, is joining us on this broadcast. Rhythm, with regards to the legal options available before Major Vikrant Jaitly, is there anything more that you're picking up as to what perhaps could be the next step available before the family?
Yes, Shavan, in fact, legal options, like you said and have been naming out, are there in the Delhi High Court, which is on 6th of December when the case is going to come up. But we also want to tell our viewers the breaking news that's coming in from our sources within the Ministry of External Affairs and the Indian government clearly show the Indian government has been at work in this case. After the impact of the interview that Celina Jaitley had with our editor-in-chief Arnab yesterday, a big impact coming in, and the breaking news that came in is the Indian embassy now tells us and the consulate, they are fully seized of the matter. You know, in the interview yesterday, Celina Jaitley had made it clear that she was not sure about what was happening with her brother. She was not sure what steps were being taken, and she said, I'm trying to find out from the esteemed government what's happening. We've spoken to our sources within the Indian government, and we have been assured that due to the concerted efforts of the embassy in UAE, consular officials have been able to obtain consular access to Mr. Vikrant 4 times. So we can assure Celina Jaitley, her family, her lawyers whom you're in touch with, that 4 times consular access has been given of Mr. Vikrant by to the embassy. So that's the big breaking news coming in, and this time we're getting the news not only from the legal side but also from the Ministry of External Affairs, also from our sources within the embassy in the UAE. Our sources also telling us we remain in touch with his family, especially his wife in the matter. That means that the MEA, that means that the government is also in touch with his wife. There was yesterday, it seemed, some discord maybe between Celina Jaitley and the wife, because the lawyer did mention that we are not sure about what is really happening. But now the government steps in and says we are completely in touch with the family, especially his wife. They also clarify the last time we met him was in September 2025. The interview that yesterday made headlines. It grabbed the attention of international and national attention. It anguished people to see Celina Jaitley asking for her brother, who had won laurels within the armed forces, for some help. And this is also what we had stated, that we're going to try and reach out to the government to see what can happen. Well, now we're now being told, even before this case comes up, Shravan, even before the government files an affidavit, which they have to within 4 weeks before the Delhi High Court, Court, the government now confirms to us for the very first time on national television the Indian embassy and consulate are fully seized of the matter. This means that there is some hope for Celina Jaitley. There need not be as much stress as she was taking yesterday. This is the darkest days for her. Our sources within the government tell us the embassy consular officials have been able to obtain consular access to Mr. Vikrant 4 times. They also got access in September 2025. They remain in touch with his family, especially his wife. The embassy continues to extend all possible consular assistance in this matter. They've also clarified to us, Shavan, due to their concerted efforts, embassy consular officials have been able to obtain consular access, which means the Indian government was seized of the matter. The Indian government officials have spoken. And also, let's remember that at the very helm of affairs, the central government once again ensuring that its citizens abroad are not left to anyone's mercy. We've seen the same kind of efforts in other cases, and even in this case, we've seen that the Indian government will try its best to try and see what can happen. And also the UAE embassy, under the leadership of now the ambassador there, Dr. Deepak Mittal, continues to extend all possible consular assistance in this matter to everyone who's trying to get in touch with the family, to them, especially the wife they've been in touch with, whom they've also spoken to 4 times already. The embassy has got in touch and given consular access, been given consular access to Mr. Vikrant, and the last time was in September, which means it was very recent. I think the most important bit of information that we're getting that's going to be a big relief for Celina Jaitley, and also a Republic impact of that interview, that debate that everybody saw yesterday, which grabbed international and national headlines, which was also seen, I have to tell our viewers, also seen in UAE, also seen in Dubai, also people who were looking at this matter within the government have seen it. They've approached us. They've told us what's really happening after that interview that Celina Jaitley had with Arnab. And Indian embassy and the consulate are now telling us the government is fully seized of the matter. What lies ahead now, you asked, Shavan? I'm very, very sure that within the next 4 weeks, a fantastic government affidavit with full details is going to be filed in the Delhi High Court as this government tries its best to do. They're going to assure the court of full assistance to Vikrant. They're also going to assure and say that consular access has been given to them. And I think the most important thing in diplomatic relations that a government can do is get consular access and give legal assistance to their citizen abroad. So if that is being done, then the government has been successful in the matter. They're in touch with the family, they're in touch with the wife, they've extended all possible consular assistance, they're seized of the matter, which clearly means the wheels of the motion behind curtains are moving. There are certain things that right now, for privacy and for cooperation, we will not be sharing till the government chooses to share. But we do know now the government is fully committed to ensuring that in this case, they are fully seized of the matter and continue to give consular access. It's back to you, Ayuna.
All right, Rhythm, thank you for giving us